Hey YouTube, coming at you with the first Fantasy Cup team of the season, Weezing, Excadrill, Giratina from Matt's bag. So this was on last week, so these were these battles were. And in the write-up, they write, Giratina is the king of Fantasy Cup if you're lucky enough to have one, right? Because so for those of you who do not know, you need to trade a level 15 and you need to trade it to get it below the 10 attack. Last time I played Fantasy Cup, I realized how useful Giratina was with its unresisted ghost damage and up shields. The only Pokemon that can truly take it down are fairies, other fast move dragons, Pokemon like Flygon with Dragon Tail, but they are scarce right now, and the fairies and Mudslap users that can easily shield once against them and come up with energy. Lucky enough, the fairies like Weezing aren't play rough, that's correct, and Azumarill is the perfect target for Giratina to farm up energy and take switch, no problems. As for the battles, 7-3 in these two sets, and I definitely messed up when I got the boost with Giratina against Azumarill in the end game. I probably shouldn't have swapped to Weezing. No, you never swap when you get the boost. Other than that, Giratina is a cheat code in the meta, and congrats to anyone who has one. Hope this helps. Yes, so for those of you who do not know, Giratina came into I think it was like a research task or something. So you got a level 15, but you needed to trade it with someone to get it below that. And what makes it so strong is kind of the reasons they mentioned. There's only 3 typings. Dragon, Steel, Fairy. Not a ton of Dragon. But, you know, Dragon's going to beat you because you are just using Ghost-type moves. One of the other main fairies, there's 2 main fairies, Weezing and Azumarill. And Azumarill is running Play Rough, so not Ice Beam, so they have to get to the Play Rough. I shouldn't say all of them, but most are running Play Rough Hydro Pump. And for Weezing, most are running, as you can see, Sludge and Overheat. So the Sludge and Overheat aren't going to do anything to Giratina because they actually resist both. Sludge is resisted on the Ghost, and Overheat's resisted by the Dragon. So it definitely is a strong Pokemon, and then against Azumarill, Bubble's resisted, so you can just really get ahead on energy there. So it makes it a really, really strong Pokemon. So let's take a look at it in action. Weezing against Registeel on the lead here. You could Overheat and bail into Excadrill or Giratina. Again, the only problem with Giratina is there is Wigglytuff. Very, very, very rare, but there is Wigglytuff that could just wall this. But let's see. So going straight into Giratina and Azumarill. And this is where you think like, oh, fairy, but it's a bubble fairy, so Bubble's resisted on the Dragon, and then you are doing neutral with the claws and the shadow balls, right? So yes, I will shield up a Play Rough, or an Ice Beam if they have Ice Beam. No, it's a Play Rough. Like most are running Play Rough, and these claws just add up so much because claws are neutral, hard hitting move, neutral other moves here, and you resist the bubble. So yes, you may need to commit the double shield here, but that is absolutely no problem. Committing the double shield, and you will come out with a crazy amount of energy here. You may need to throw, or no, you get the full farm down, and they're down shields. You have like a move and a half here, so throwing blindly against the Registeel, which is where they make it to a move. Shadow Ball will land. It will not KO, but it will do a ton of chip. They will get a move off. Zap Cannon, Focus Blast, all resisted, unless they're running like Flash Cannon. Nope, that is resisted. No attack fall, so again we are just farming up. Lock on as a normal typing, resisted by the Ghost, so get a bunch of farm. There's the Shadow Ball. What do we got left? Turtonator. Fire's resisted. Can we get to the move? No, you got to kind of be aware of that. So we're going to slap a couple times, maybe try and catch here. That's exactly what's going to happen. Try and catch. They're going to have to overheat you because Dragon's resisted, so unless they're running like Flamethrower, but Flash Cannon, ooh, sneaky. But then we get the Mudslap down. Yeah, Mudslap's doing super effective on the fire, just as the fire is doing super effective on the steel. So good lead. We have Sludge. It's actually kind of neutral-ish because, as you can see here, you may be wondering, why does Weezing never run Sludge? Well, let me just show you why it never runs Sludge. Because a super effective Sludge does like 35% to an Azumarill. So you still need 3 freaking Sludges to take this out, which is brutal. And you have to shield up the Hydro Pump because these bubbles are actually starting to add up. So between those 2 things, that's why no one runs Sludge on this thing, and it's easier just to run Play Rough, Overheat, Brutal Swing quicker. Like, Sludge is just a really bad move. But it is good in this meta against Azumarill. But unfortunately, as we see here, the second move does not take out. We need a third. And we will get to this third right here. So they're going to have to shield or be taken out here. And they double shield, which is interesting. I would personally let this go and just start farming on something. Giratina most likely. And they tried to undercharge you. You came in here to snipe with, not even a snipe. It was like a slow grind. They do have a Whimsicott, which is half fairy, so the fairy winds are super effective. But the Shadow Ball's neutral probably does not take out. It does not. You may need to commit a shield and farm down. That's what I would do. Yeah, commit the shield, farm down. Pretty easy play here. So the other throw a Moonblast, so they're going to be very dry. So you'll get to a move. And out comes their second fairy. It's a Mawile. It looks like it is running the new, not new, but buffed Fire Fang, which is resisted. So just going to get to the Omnis Wind here. Ominous Wind. Did I spell that right? Okay. Good lead against a dragon. I did not. I did an I. Ominous Wind. And they eventually come in with Empoleon. And the Empoleon is running Waterfall. So for those of you who are newer to this meta, Empoleon with Waterfall was one of the best Pokemon in this meta. All right, you have your Steel type, so you resist a lot of the fairy moves. You're half water, so you neutralize fire. You have the overpowered Waterfall, doing great against fairies and steels. Tough against dragons, but you had Drill Peck for the dragons. So that's what made it so strong. And they have an Azumarill in the back. So we are going to be just staying in this matchup and throwing the Sludges here. So again, land 1. We're going to need 3, unfortunately. Going to get to a... so now we're going to have to commit a shield here. It honestly... Yeah. Now we're down shields. You probably should have thrown the move before, because you had a chance to throw the Sludge. So it would not have taken out, but you could have thrown the Sludge and taken it down and then taken the move on Weezing and then just come and Mud Slap for the win. But now you're in a tricky spot where like this may grab the last shield. And now you're going to try and snipe, but if they have a Hydro, you're screwed here. They do not get to a move, which is actually huge. Because now we're probably going to get to the draw run for this thing. Yeah. Getting 3 Muds, like again, kind of lucky most are running Play Rough Hydro Pump because 3 Mud Slaps is slow energy. So if they had an Ice Beam with some energy already, they probably would have gotten into it. Doug Trio, holy crap. We are slapping the crap out of each other. You can't really shield because then you're going to get slapped down too. So we came in with excadrill just to get killed. Don't know if that was a misclick because you are also the same typing, steel, ground, but you are behind on energy. So they end up having a Giratina in the back. So we are just not even trying to make it obvious that we're going for Shadow Ball. We are just going straight Omnis Wind, trying to boost. Do not get the boost, and they can probably just go same thing, Omnis Wind here, and they are going to do that with a perfect farm up as well. So, and they get the attack rise and a defense rise. So this is basically this is almost a top left. Coming back and Weezing, and they give up switch to a Azumarill, which is crazy. Why you would give up a boosted Giratina when most are running? That's a terrible play. The opponent with a shield advantage gave up a defense and attack boosted Giratina when a Weezing, which traditionally in this meta runs Sludge and Overheat, has no charge move for it. Talk about giving you your win con back. So over farm on the Weezing a ton here. Get to the Sludge. This will take out. And now we are at the Overheat already and can just, even though it's resisted, chuck in this Overheat to take out what is left of the Giratina. Oh, that was an underpowered Giratina too. I was like, why did that take out? Because it's a 1456 Giratina. So Lucario lead. So Force Palm Lucario going straight for the Overheat, going for the KO. They decide to shield and gonna go Giratina. And again, Giratina, people see Dragon, instant swap into the Azumarill. Azumarill does not have a good matchup. Bubble resisted, slow to the play roughs. Claws and Shadow Balls really add up. Yes, you're going to get to a play rough. Yes, you're likely to grab a shield. But the damage already is done here. Already basically in Omnis range. And farming up, throwing the move. They are in the red. They shield, and now you can just go back to back because we timed, so they couldn't. It wasn't CMP last time, so now we're just going to go back to back here. Ooh, they live with 1 HP. So now you need to make a decision. Do you want to shield and just farm, or do you want to take it you're going to let it go, take it on the excadrill here. Excadrill with shield advantage should be pretty strong. as long as you don't get like slapped down by another. This team is double weak to ground. It is Lucario coming in. This team is double weak to ground. Poison is weak to ground, and Steel is weak to ground. So you got 2 ground weaknesses. Holy crap, this thing gets deleted. But speaking about deleting, here is a Galarian Weezing, and this Mud Slap Drill Run is going to 1,000,000% one-shot. A Shadow on Shadow. Jeez. Probably does like 5,000% damage. Okay. Registeel lead. Again, we've seen this. It looks like we're going straight Overheat and Bail. I don't even know if an Overheat takes out. Yes, it's super effective. Yes, it's a nuke. It's a non-stab on a Registeel. They're not going to find out. And finally, a fairy that is not Azumarill. Clefable. At least it does not completely wall you. Going Omnis Win, I am assuming because one Shadow Ball does not take out, so it's easier just to go 2 Omnis Wins. That's my guess. Again, I don't think I have this, so I don't even know how it plays in the cups here. Outside of just like watching some subscribers play with it. And coming in excadrill where everything is resisted, so get 2 slaps through, and out comes the Mawile, and holy crap, fire versus ground, doing super effectively against each other, but they do not have a shield, so goodbye. Excadrill is so glassy, and out comes the Registeel. I think this is you don't have to shield, actually. I was going to say, this is an easy shield and throw the move, but you don't need it. You can actually just come in here and just overheat for the win. Because they are at like 60% health, and then you have a shield and an overheat, and this will definitely one-shot from 60% range. Doug Trio. Okay. This is, yeah, you got to go Giratina because your other 2 are weak to this. And again with the Azumarill. So really over farming. I think you're just trying to, like, I don't know, figure out your fast move timing, and then they have or assuming, right? Don't assume everyone is running the PV Poke recommended moveset of Play Rough and Shadow Ball. Sorry, and Hydro Pump. We get hit with, we shielded, but an Ice Beam came through there, which would have been super effective, and that's maybe where your timing was off. So you grabbed a second shield, and they are going to get the second shield from you. My only concern is that if you don't take this out, or even if you do, you can still potentially have their Doug Trio. You can take this out here now. Never mind. That was a really nice overfarm, actually, because you had just enough energy to get to the move here and take this out. And now they have a Registeel, so this game's over. This is a top left, if I've ever seen one. Okay, we'll get to the Focus Blast to take you out, but again, does not matter when we have an Overheat Weezing coming right behind it here. Thinking maybe you don't have Overheat. Maybe we don't look at the recommended movesets and know the typings in this meta before we come in here. But we do, so there's the Overheat. Goodbye. Okay, Excadrill. And I don't know about this. So we stayed in forever. And they got slapped a lot. We got a shield from them, but now they're getting a shield from us because we came in Excadrill. So now the Giratina, the Weezing's at like red because it was taking super effective slaps. And now your Excadrill is in the red, in the almost red. You did slap this Azumarill a ton. The Azumarill has energy though. And they give up switch into their second shadow slap. You should be throwing, no, you gotta be throwing. I think you need to throw the Omnis Win like immediately because this thing is so glassy, as you can see by how much these claws are doing. So they're definitely just gonna shield and go into Azumarill for the win here. You did boost. I think you have to take the move. I mean, is this where you're saying you give up switch? Well, you're at like 1 HP. I see what you're saying. That honestly, your win con in this one was not leaving that Giratina boosted match. Sorry, your lose con was not leaving that Giratina boosted matchup. You would have got to a move there. You had 2 lose cons. One, it looks like you would have got to the move, and with that boost, you would have lived the bubbles. And 2, I think you have to throw that Ominous Wind on the Dugtrio immediately and grab that shield or take it out and not have to take that damage. I think that was actually your biggest screw up there. So getting to the overheat, they've already grabbed a shield from you, coming in with your slap user, met with an Azumarill. So this is going to really hurt our Excadrill just being so glassy and weak to bubble. They live the Mud Bomb, so you could shield and take, or, which I don't think you should, I'm torn. You can play this either way. So the problem is you're so low. The other option was just to like keep that shield, come in and get like 3 or 4 Shadow Claws ahead. So now they have a ton of energy, and they're ground and dragon. So maybe you need to try and catch here, or hope that you live a Dragon Claw from this range, which are full health, so you probably should. And can you get to the move? You can. They do not try and catch. So take that out, instant swap, and now it is a race. They're non-shadow, right? So this may not even take you. Oh yeah, it does take you out, and now you get taken out here. Yeah. I don't know if I would have. I think that was. Would you shield there? What did I say? Go back to what I just said. I don't think that was played out correctly either. And finally, oh frig, coming in with our Excadrill into a waterfall Empoleon, getting deleted instead of coming in where waterfall is resisted on our dragon. I don't know if that was a misclick or if that was just not looking at what the fast move was. So now you're a shield down and on their Flygon here. And now they just shield and dragon tailing you. You do get to move, so this will grab the second shield or take him out. They commit to the shield, and if they have Scorching Sands, that's super effective, so you got a shield. And you do shield, and they get out into Turtonator, which is a killer here too, because Sludge is garbage, even in super effective matchups, so in neutral matchups, it's probably not very good either. And they're just going to get to the overheat and absolutely blast you. Okay, so front-loaded wins, back-end loaded losses here. I think that Giratina is pretty. I mean, Giratina is strong. Wiggly is an absolute wall, but I haven't really seen Wigglies in this meta. Couple questionable plays here. I don't mind the overheat, but yeah, you can't go into Excadrill. How glassy Excadrill is, you cannot come in mirror matches behind on energy, so you can't come in with the other Mud Slap users, else you get deleted, and you can't come into anything which is like, not that you'd come in with against an Azumarill. Yeah, I don't know. I think so. On the back end, you have to like just think about your win and the waterfall gear and the waterfall. That's the Empoleon one. The waterfall Empoleon one. You either need to. What is a recommended moveset in this? Let me see what the actual recommended moveset is, because I'm assuming it's waterfall. No, it's steel. It is Steel Wing actually. I mean, Fairy is one of the typings, so it does make sense, but given the state of the meta, you think that more people would be running waterfall. So this is the thing. The recommended moveset is Steel Wing. However, you just got to be aware that in a ground steel dominated meta with Dugtrio and Excadrill and Stunfisk, that you may see more waterfall, so just don't make that instant swap without knowing the moveset. But thanks for this mission. We'll probably do a bunch of these. I saw at least one other submitted. I've got one team that I'm running. Anyways, that is it. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you are playing, either this cup or Ultra League, so I just know how to tailor my videos. And that is it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.